From being number 1 to win the Ballon d'Or to number 6 in a week, confirmed. Let me know what you all think about that, because this is kind of crazy. Mohamed Salah was ranked number 1, first for the Ballon d'Or for this year. He was on track to win the Ballon d'Or with the way he was performing in the Premier League and every other competition they were in. And after losing the Champions League and the Carabao Cup in the same week, the day after they lost the Carabao Cup, it's confirmed that Mohamed Salah has now dropped to 6th place after the tough weeks with Liverpool. Obviously, absolutely ghosted versus Paris Saint-Germain and Carabao Cup. And because of them two moments, he went from number 1, not to 2, not to 3, not to 4, not to 5, to number 6. Damn. I mean, fair play. To win a Ballon d'Or, you gotta go for it all. To win a Ballon d'Or, you gotta be the best of the best, performing in every game, no matter what. And I respect that about the Ballon d'Or as of recent. They're picking a true winner. That's what matters. But Mohamed Salah is still having a great season, in my opinion.
They are cooking Salah to a whole new level, bro. Look at these cookings I'm about to show you. Celebrated Christmas and his Champions League and Ballon d'Or run ended in Ramadan. Yes, Salam, they are cooking, my brother. Also, we are cooking him on Instagram too. InstaFish55. Go hit that follow button. Everybody, we are cooking him. Look. 6.6 Liverpool. Southampton, 8.3. PSG, 6.0. You see the two big games. PSG, 6.6. You see what I'm saying, bro? You see what I told you about that fraud league over there, bro? That fraud Premier League, bro. They just give him pens, bro. That's all. They just give him pens, bro. Rafinha has more goals against Benfica than Salah has his whole Champions League campaign. Rafinha has the same amount of goals against Bayern this year in one game, 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Then Salah has the whole Champions League campaign, same amount. Rafinha against Bayern, 3 goals. Salah Champions League this year, 3 goals. Ballon d'Or.
One thing that happened tonight, yeah, I'm going to tell you what happened. The number crunchers can't believe what's happening right now. They're all scratching their heads like, yo, how is this possible? The guy that's putting up bare numbers didn't put up no numbers today. I told you guys before. The reason why that is because he's a great goal scorer, but not a great footballer. I'm giving him his credit. The numbers, can't deny. He's not a great footballer. Can you imagine? At some point, the commentator was saying, I think it was Gary Neville. It was Gary Neville. Gary Neville at one point said in the first half, Mo Salah's had 3 touches in the last 20 minutes. Numbers or not, this can't run. 3 touches in 20 minutes. But you're meant to be the best player in the world. So I've been told. The best player in the world can't get on the ball, make things happen. Can't be like, give me the ball, let me make things happen. Let me grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Let me decide this game. Let me take the ball and try and run past people. Fair enough, you may not have all the technical ability in the world, but bro, intention.
You look old enough to be wise, Unc, but that's not the case. Salah, Liverpool's top goal scorer, has 27 goals. The next person has 9. So he has ×3 of the amount of goals the next person has. Why do you think Ronaldo had Benzema and Bale? Why do you think Messi had Suarez and Neymar? And Salah just has Nunes and Luis Diaz, Gakpo too, and Jota? You could call me a stat glazer, stat whatever, but all those players I mentioned, Suarez, Neymar, Benzema, Bale, they had qualities to win a Ballon d'Or. Salah is the only player in our team that has that qualities this season. So before you show him hate, look at the people around him. How do they help him? Ronaldo and Messi had players in their teams that when they were on their off day, they performed. Those players helped save the team. But for Liverpool's case, it's just Salah. And don't forget about his 43 games, 32 goals, 22 assists. Like, to me, the Salah hate is so ass. It's so unreasonable because he's been good the whole season. Just 3 games of bad form, three bad games, and everyone is just chatting shit. I would say about 90% are not Liverpool fans, so I get it. But even with these stats, should tell you that he's doing a lot. He's just had a bad run of games. But if Messi or Ronaldo had those bad run of games, they would have Suarez and Neymar behind him, Benzema and Bale behind him. Like, come on, bruh.
Did Mo Salah just see his last ever chance of winning a Ballon d'Or passing by? He was seen crying on the pitch at full time, and as harsh as it sounds, as unfair as it might be, it feels like getting knocked out in the last 16 of the Champions League is just not going to do it when you're looking at the Ballon d'Or. I mean, the man has literally got like well over 50 goal contributions in all competitions so far this season. The Premier League title obviously wrapped up with Liverpool, and that might he'll still definitely be like top 5 comfortably and like easily in and around there. But you're now looking at Rafinha, who's putting up genuinely similar numbers to Salah this season. I mean, I think slightly lower than him, but still having an absolutely absurd year. Barcelona in their run through to the final. You're now looking at Rafinha and the fact that Rafinha has had a better Champions League campaign than Salah. He's probably had the best Champions League campaign out of anybody. Is he now in line for the Ballon d'Or? Ousmane Dembele winning that game tonight, scoring the goal as well. And I think this sort of leads to a larger argument where is the Ballon d'Or too weighted towards the Champions League? Is it completely absurd that this now feels like it might not be enough for Mo Salah without having that Champions League, despite how ridiculous he's been in every other competition? But yeah, I think he's crying. I think he's crying for a reason. Obviously, because he's gutted Liverpool been knocked out. But I think he knows that for that individual award that he will obviously be desperate to win and be chasing this season, and felt like he had such a good chance of winning, felt like it could be over tonight.
Mo Salah stinking up another cup final. Imagine my shock. Dropping a worse match rating than Speed at Wembley did a week ago. The Ballon d'Or winner this season, apparently. 13 games in cup finals, 2 goals, both penalties. Never steps up when it matters. But Salah's better than Hazard. Salah's better than Hazard. Eden Hazard, 5 goals, 2 assists, 4 Man of the Match awards in 8 cup finals. No goals, 1 assist, no man of the matches for Salah. Yeah. Look, Salah's been incredible this season. There's no denying that. But when it seems to matter in cup finals, for his nation, for his club, he sucks arse. That was a generational stink show from him today. He barely touched the ball. He did nothing. He didn't take a player on at any point. I didn't even see him make many successful passes. Did he even have a shot? I don't think he did. He was awful in a game where Liverpool needed him to step up, where Liverpool were mediocre and Newcastle were the better team and they were on top, just like in the week with the PSG game, where Liverpool were the worst team and they needed the big star man, Ballon d'Or winner to step up. Where did he go hiding? Mo Salah's an incredible footballer, but if your eyes still tell you that he's better than Eden Hazard, then football's just never been for you and it won't ever be.
I'm sorry, but how do you expect Mo Salah to win the Ballon d'Or when he fails to show up when he needs to show up the most? Round of 16 in the Champions League, Liverpool could be eliminated, pocketed by Nuno Mendes for 220 minutes of football, no goal, no assists across 2 legs. Now we know Liverpool can't win a Champions League, so now they could potentially win the Premier League title and a Carabao Cup. What happens? Salah in the Carabao Cup final is nowhere to be found again, proving my point that when it matters most, unfortunately, Salah doesn't convert. I am not discrediting the season he's had in the Premier League, the numbers he has put up. He has been unbelievably impressive. But the biggest players in the world get it done on the biggest stages. Messi in the World Cup final, unbelievable. What Mbappe did in the World Cup final still blows my mind till this day. And when you talk about the Ballon d'Or, these big stage performances need to stand out in your mind. And that's what Salah fails to do. When the game's down to the absolute wire, last seconds of the game, Rafinha can put Barcelona on his back and get the job done. How Mbappe has turned around his season, absolutely insane. Scored a hat-trick against Man City in the Champions League, just scored a brace in La Liga for Real Madrid, putting the team on his back. And then you have Harry Kane, someone we're not talking about enough. If you want to talk about a player who's performing in their domestic league and in the Champions League, it's this guy right here. 81 games, 76 goals, 23 assists for Bayern Munich. Never discrediting what Salah's done this season, but you can't win a Ballon d'Or when you fail to show up when it matters the most.
Football, like life, sometimes can be very, very cruel. Because Mo Salah, in a matter of a week between the Champions League and the Carabao Cup,
completely fell off the Ballon d'Or. And, bro, is not even up for debate. Not showing up in both games. Because in the Champions League against PSG, the only thing he did was the penalty. He scored it, but that's the only thing he did. And then in the Carabao Cup, what is this? 15 finals with only 2 non-penalty goals? Like, bro, I respect penalties. But 15 finals and the only thing you attributed is 2 penalties? That you have to score them, but still. And now, bro, like, with Liverpool only winning the Premier League, he's not winning the Ballon d'Or. I'm sorry. Because Barcelona, it's either Barcelona or Real Madrid that are going to win the league. So that puts them there. And as long as they make it to probably the final, Kylian Mbappé, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Pedri, Jude, Vini, Fede, any of those players, now, as long as they make it too far, like to the final of the Champions League, they have a better case than him now. Why? Because people, the voters, remember what you did last at the most important time. Doesn't matter that it sucks because Mo Salah is having a historic season. He'll probably finish top 10 when it comes down to the Ballon d'Or. Fuck it, maybe even top 5. But he's not going to win it.
They told me Ballon d'Oro. They told me Mo Salah should win the Ballon d'Or. I told them no. Where was Salah? Where was he today? Where was Mo Salah today? I don't understand how your team can play in a final and you disappear for the whole 90 minutes. You're not going to get a penalty. Newcastle are not going to let you cut in and shoot on your left foot. They're going to defend, double up. Where are you? Liverpool were on the field. And I could see Curtis Jones looking. I could see even Van Dijk looking. Harvey Elliott looking. Gakpo looking. They were looking around like, who's going to save us? And I'm thinking, isn't it the Ballon d'Or guy? Mo Salah, these are the games where you need to show yourself. It's the final. Liverpool are losing 2-0. Where are you at? It's not good enough for me. In a week, we've seen Mo Salah's deficiencies. And this is why GA can be very, very misleading. Because Mo Salah today, no GA, what did we get? What did we? It matters in March. It matters in April. It matters in May. I'll tell you that for free.
Cole Palmer, Mo Salah, Mo Farah, Rafinha in 5. Rafinha in 5. Dear Mohamed Salah, I hereby declare that your Ballon d'Or campaign is officially finished. Like, how can you drop stinker after stinker after stinker? Like 2 games against PSG and now in a final against Newcastle, you dropped this. You did absolutely nothing. And you guys wanted this guy, this fraud, to win Ballon d'Or. Rafinha, all I need from you today, yeah? Score hat-trick against Atletico Madrid so you can cement your Ballon d'Or, okay? Have a good performance against Atletico. You don't even need to score. A hat-trick would do more than enough, but just do your thing, brother. Do your thing!
Yeah, Mo Salah, Invisible Man. This is your Ballon d'Or, the guy that everybody says is going to win the Ballon d'Or. What happened? He was not on the pitch?
When they were knocked out the Champions League, that's exactly when it went, and this just cemented it.
Yeah.
That's the seal of it's done. He could score. You could score 40, 50 in the Premier League. It don't matter. He ain't touching that.
You got to step up in the big games, especially in those moments. Newcastle was without Anthony Gordon. So they're missing a key player in their attacking scheme. Their only goal scorer on Liverpool was Chiesa, who has barely struggled to get minutes on that team all season.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not even here to talk about goals because goals are whatever. I'm here to talk about performances. Yes, the P word. Yes, the thing people think does not matter in football as long as you get a stat. Where was Salah over these 2 legs? It was terrible. Nuno Mendes had him in prison. And nobody come here and start saying blah, blah, blah. This is how we speak about the best players in the world when they don't deliver. That's the scrutiny. That's the level of conversation he's in. That's the level of scrutiny he's going to get. Where was he over the 2 legs? Well, here it is. Perfect example. Non-existent. Can't get past his player. Locked up. Physically, when it was going side to side, Nuno Mendes was handling him. But hey, if you want to give him everything, he's also got to be able to take the criticism. Salah was poor over these 2 legs. And I think that has a massive implication on the Ballon d'Or. 3 goals in the Champions League, not one not noteworthy performance. horrible in 2 legs against PSG, and he's out in the last 16. I think that should be the end of it. And look, people are going to say I'm a hater, and I know there's some people sitting there. Deep down inside, you know, a lot of times you've seen the reason why I say that Salah can't be my GOAT is because I see these type of performances too often. But then a stat will get him out, a pen or whatever will get these people out of jail, and everyone will say, oh, GOAT, GOAT, GOAT. Not for me, never will. He'll never be the GOAT, in my opinion.
Salah. Now, on one hand, it's not a coincidence that every time Salah's performances drop, Liverpool almost look unrecognizable. How many times do Diaz and Jota come up with a stinker and Salah bails them out? However, Salah, man, it's actually staggering. That's the only word I can use here as to how much his game gets locked up at times. Like, I'm not one of these people that thinks Salah is just some bang average footballer, right? But it is alarming to me how many times we do see Salah's game almost just get nullified. Why is that the case? Well, I'll tell you why. Salah's a great player. This season is one of the great Premier League seasons I've ever seen. In the final third, Salah's final action is damn near perfect. However, I'm sorry, his game is limited compared to the all-time greats. It's not limited compared to, I don't know, Jacob Murphy, right? But compared to the all-time greats, he isn't able to do what Cristiano Ronaldo could do at Man United. He's not. He isn't able to do what Thierry Henry was capable of doing. They had a little bit more special in them in terms of they can just turn a game through absolutely individual magic. And I'm not trying to say, right, like they scored every single big game. I understand Henry's records in finals isn't amazing. I get Cristiano Ronaldo. For the longest time at Man United, actually, he couldn't score against Chelsea. He couldn't score against Liverpool at Anfield. I'm not trying to rewrite history here, but I'm sorry. You are also rewriting history if you can't look at those guys, even Rooney, for example, De Bruyne, they did have a little bit more. I'm sorry, that's my opinion.
I think the hate that Mo Salah is getting is justified but way over the top. Let's be real here. Everybody is just completely disregarding the fact that he's been incredible all season because he was bad for 2 games. And let's be honest as well, nobody really values the Ballon d'Or to the same level that we used to back in the day. From the time they made it a season competition of basically who's more popular and who does better in the Champions League, that doesn't mean that you're the best player in the world just because you do well in one competition. You look at Vinny last season, almost won the thing because he turned up from the round of 16 onwards and he was just nowhere from August until December. I'm sorry, that's not enough for you to be classified as the best player in the world. Salah's been incredibly consistent. So for people to just say, oh, he's not winning the Ballon d'Or then, just because he got knocked out in the round of 16, it's very, very disingenuous because if you're telling me that he can win a Premier League, can win a Carabao Cup, there's still a high chance that Rafinha at Barca doesn't win anything this season because they are not really favourites for the league, in my opinion, and they're not favourites for the Champions League. But just because he's maybe turned up in a couple more big games, he should be there. Like, I'm sorry, we all know it's a popularity contest, and on top of that, like, you got all of these eye test guys that are gonna come out and be like, oh, but Rafinha passed the eye test, all this and that. That's where the Salah hate stems from, the fact that he only stat pads. It's quite sad, like, don't get me wrong, he's probably played his last game at Anfield in a Liverpool shirt, and although Liverpool might be winning this Prem, the repercussions from that, when Trent and Salah leave, hey, it's gonna be incredible. Let's not disregard this generational season that Mo Salah's having because I don't think I've ever seen a player at this stage in his career perform the way he's performing. So the last person I think that needs to be getting stick is him, in my opinion.
I think we found out the reason why Salah will not win the Ballon d'Or. But before we go any further, hit that follow button for more football content like this. Now let's get into this. Now look, I know this is going to upset some Liverpool fans and I'm going to get pelters from them, but I will speak on something that I feel like is the truth. And I don't think this guy is going to win the Ballon d'Or. Don't get me wrong, some of you are probably going to defend it and say, look at his stats in the Premier League this season, the goals, the assists and all the rest of it. Yes, he's had an all-time Premier League season and I will give him his respect and his props for that. But in terms of the Ballon d'Or, he's not winning it. And here's why. Now, this is something that ESPN posted about Mo Salah, and I'm going to get onto it in a second. But when we're looking at the 3 games in the past week that are the crunch games for Liverpool, 2 legs against PSG, as well as the Carabao Cup final, his stats are shocking. I mean, he didn't score any goals, and he only amounted 1 shot on target in those 3 games. And on top of that, he had only 4 successful dribbles. So all of the things that we know Salah to be good for in terms of assists, taking on players, goals, he went missing